Hey, welcome everyone. It's Carm. Town Hall Academy. It's Aftermarket Weekly. Oh my. Every once in a while, guys, it kind of blurs, but maybe it shouldn't. Maybe it shouldn't. It's Aftermarket Weekly. You know, the service aftermarket's best kept secret to personal networking, and the beauty of Aftermarket Weekly is we get a chance to have a shop tour. So glad to have you here, and I have a great guest today. Wait till you meet Tom Grady. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Garm, and hello, everyone.
Red Hawk Auto Service, Temecula, California. Now, where is that exactly near, Tom?
Temecula is midway between Los Angeles and San Diego, about half an hour in from the coast.
Oh, great.
In wine country.
Wait a minute. And did you say San Fran or San Diego?
San Diego. So
San Diego's got wine country down there. I did not know.
Oh, yeah. It's about 50 wineries. Very nice.
Well, I'm a big California cab guy. What do they do down there?
We do cabs.
All right.
Come on out, cab.
All right.
Especially right now, this time of the year.
When we're done with this, you're going to, we go backstage. I want you to recommend something because my daughter and Tracy and I, we love cabs.
Oh, fantastic. So do I.
Well, great. Hey, we're going to get a great tour of Tom's place. And by the way, as an FYI, we're going to not only see his current location, but we're going to see his satellite, which is not too far away. And that's the whole thing we're going to talk about today is the strategies behind that. If you're with us on social media, please give us a like, check in with your city. Good to have you all here. Throw us a comment. We can see it here inside the studio. We're coming to you live from the Dorman OE Fix studio, sometimes commonly called my Carm Cave. I'm sure business is good for you out there, Tom, even though COVID continues to kick around.
Yes, we're doing great, thank God.
And I can't wait to hear all about the new location. Well, again, as I said earlier, we're sponsored by Dorman. It's so great to have them as a sponsor now again in 2022. The aftermarket is filled with companies that make replacement parts, but few invest in design, engineering, manufacturing, programming, and testing like Dorman. They are home to hundreds of mechanical, electrical, and manufacturing engineers spread out all across the globe who ensure every part that is produced meets rigorous industry standards for performance. To do this, Dorman utilizes cutting-edge technology and equipment to test fit, form, and functionality of all their parts. Some of these tests include rapid prototyping 3D models for fitment checks, tolerance testing on both mechanical and electronic components through salt fog and thermal heat and pressure testing. Dorman drives their dedication to their engineering by including their in-house programmers who write and test new software solutions. Solving for a problem is what powers the innovation engine at Dorman. Dorman invests in these OE innovations to help you save time, your customer money, and prevent vehicles from coming back to your shop. Hey, to learn more about Dorman's engineering process, visit dormanproducts.com/tour. Thanks again, Dorman. Tom and I did a great episode. It was episode 649, and we talked about his satellite location. And the reason that I brought Tom back here on Aftermarket Weekly is I want to see inside the place. I want to see, because he told me all about his strategy and why he was going to do it. And of course, I want to not only see the place, but I want to learn about any logistical issues that he had. But we're going to take you from the beginning as to why he did this, because he knew he had to grow. This coming Friday, great episode, father and daughter teams. Ashlyn Kaplan and Rich Udenberg are together, father-daughter, and Lauren Anderson and Jeff Matt are going to be here and talk about the family dynamic. Well, Tom, let's jump in this whole thing that you had preparing. You've been in business, I think, about 15, 16 years now?
Yes, sir, 16 years.
And you said, hey, I'm saturated. And wait till you see the pictures of his original location. 6 bays, probably 2,000 square feet. And
Correct.
When you see the pictures, you're going to realize that there isn't 1 square inch of that place that isn't utilized. So
No.
you were at a point of saturation, right?
Yes, and we had to be extremely efficient. But even though we have a very small location, we have an excellent location. We're on the main street on a corner, directly across from a Super Walmart and a Home Depot in a residential area of great demographics.
Nothing like a Walmart and a Home Depot to make a draw.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're next to a 7-Eleven and a car wash that I used to own. So we're really landlocked. We're tight. We can't expand. And I wanted to grow, and we couldn't grow at all. We couldn't add any bays or anything. So we had to do something else. And I wondered what were my options. My options are to get another store or perhaps a satellite location.
Yeah, I
So
love one of the things that Tom was telling me. Well, Carm, if I buy a location, 2, 3, 4 miles down the road, or a friend of mine in the next city, I may have to come up with a lot of money, even maybe some goodwill. And,
yeah,
since I really just need production space, you started to look around.
I did. I looked all around the city and I couldn't really find anything. And where I did, it was like 5 miles away. I go, no, that's not going to work logistically. So I just happened to go down the street and office, there's some flex office industrial condos there, about 15 of them. And they're just a half a mile down the road. And I saw one for sale. So I took a run at it, and the gentleman was going to sell it to me. And then at the last minute, he said, "Nah, I think I'm just going to lease it." So I passed because I really wanted to buy it because my rent is very expensive per square foot at Red Hawk, and I needed another building to offset it, to blend the mortgage payments and bring my rent as a percent of sales down because it was running too high. I was running 10, 11%. I wanted to cut that in half. So I was able to find another building, but it was a lot larger and it had offices in it. I go, gosh, I don't know if this is going to work. So I took a tour of it, and the front had offices, and the front upstairs had offices, but in the back is an industrial area of about 3,600 square feet. I go, But I walked in, and it was a call center. So it just had 8-foot ceilings. There was carpeting on the floor. There was cubicles everywhere. So I walked around a little bit, and then I popped a ceiling tile, and I looked up. I go, oh my God, it's a high ceiling. It's 20-foot ceiling, and there's skylights up there. So,
Oh,
and then there were big glass windows. I said, let me see what's above that. So I popped up a tile there. There was some golf clubs in there. So I popped up a tile, and oh my word, here are some roll up garage doors, 14 feet high. And I
oh.
go, wow, this could work.
It was truly, it was calling your name, wasn't it?
It certainly was, and here we are, Carm, in the middle of the pandemic,
Yeah.
and everybody's running. Nobody's buying anything. Everybody's scared. We haven't had vaccines yet, and I'm telling my wife about it, and she goes, "What are you crazy to buy this in the middle of the pandemic?" I said, "Hon, this was in the fall." I said, "The vaccines are coming out in the spring. If we buy this thing now, we'll get a discount on the property, and we'll have it ready for the spring market, which is going to explode because people will be vaccinated and they're going to come back out." So I went ahead and bought the building, and I got a nice discount on it.
Yeah, I imagine you walked in with the COVID excuse.
Oh my God, yes. It was crazy. Everybody's panicking. The market had died,
Sure,
commercially,
sure.
especially offices,
Yeah.
because all the offices were closed. And my wife's go, "Why are you buying a building with offices?" I said, "Don't worry, this is going to work out. I have a vision."
But
So
any opportunity for rental out of that?
I'll get to that.
Oh, can't
Absolutely.
wait to hear about that.
That's the icing on the cake, Carm.
Alright.
So anyway, we bought the building, and instantly I became a commercial construction project manager. I never in my wildest dreams thought this. So we had to go in and demo everything, rip out the ceilings, all the air conditioning ducts, all their
Yeah.
componentry that they had, computer systems, phone lines, and everything. Then we had to put in new plumbing, electrical, air lines for the equipment. We had to paint everything. Then we had to order all brand new equipment and get it installed. And this was just right before the market started taking off, and there were extreme shortages. I had ordered a bunch of lifts, and we had them on hold at a place. And I paid for them, fortunately, because otherwise the vendors, they wanted them back because they could sell them. They had 2 or 3 price increases since the time I purchased them. Then I had to go through the city permitting process. and we had all the pandemic equipment delays. But by July, we got in 4 lifts. We got the new alignment rack in, which we were able to get. We found that in a yard, and all the tire equipment. We just got held up by 2 12,000-pound lifts that we got later in September. And the SBA, I got to say, I got to compliment the SBA. They were fantastic. They worked with us. They even abated the first 3 months on the SBA side, not the bank side, but on the mortgage that we got. So that worked out well. So we got in there. What are the challenges? I work closely with the ATI coach. I've got a great coach, Mike Bennett, and he was playing devil's advocate. He says, Tom, you're going to have a lot of problem with logistics. You're going to have a lot of problems with parts, and you're going to have a lot of problems supervising the employees over there at a separate location, half a mile down the road. But you know what? It all worked out. We put our best tech over there. He's got like 15 ASE certifications, and he likes working by himself. So he's using 3 or 4 racks. If one car is down because of parts, he goes to the other one. He's very efficient, and he's able to crank out, 60 to 80 hours a week. He's just fantastic, and he loves being over there. Then when we have no more racks available at Red Hawk location, we call one Red Hawk, the original one. The other one we call Wolf because it's on Wolf Store Road. So we just call it Wolf.
Well, that's better for parts logistics and everything, I'm sure, but not calling it Red Hawk 2.
Well, that
Smart.
was the other thing, Carm, that we thought was going to be a big issue was parts and get confused. But
Yeah,
we only deal with a couple of vendors.
yeah.
And now they're in the habit of when we order a part, they go, okay, does that go to Red Hawk or does it go to Wolf?
Got it.
We say,
Perfect.
okay, it goes to Wolf. Okay, great. So they bring the part over to Wolf. Then afterwards, they drive by our shop and drop off the invoice. And then later, if we have a core or a return or something, our gal that handles all the parts picks them up because she likes to go over there where we have a conference room and she could spread out all the invoices and work on the parts. So that it's worked out perfectly. So when we get busy at Red Hawk, because that's where we have all the customers come in. We don't want customers going over to Wolf, for several reasons, but primarily because we want to handle all the sales operations out of Red Hawk. That way, I don't have to have 4 service advisors, and that's one of the reasons we went with a satellite because our expenses are left. I only need 1 manager instead of 2. I only need to run with 2 or 3 service advisors instead of 4. I don't have a lot of extra marketing or facility expense, et cetera, et cetera. So we
So,
have customers still come to Red Hawk, even though
yeah,
our office is small, but we've learned to be efficient. So now we've got 3 service advisors in the front, a manager, and our receptionist working in a close area. But we've learned how to do it, and it's working well. So when
excellent.
we don't have any racks available, we just send a tech over to Wolf, and that works because they keep tools at both locations.
Ah,
Or yeah, or they'll share. So they have toolboxes at
okay.
both.
All right.
hmm And in fact, the master tech, if he's over at Wolf and it got slow, he'll come back to Red Hawk because he's got tools there. Or the other guys will share their tools with him if he needs a special tool. And this gives us an opportunity to take in more cars. We can do more heavy line work and diesels because now we have 4 heavy duty lifts, actually 5 with the alignment. That's 14,000 pounds if we need it. We get back into the alignment and tire business because we had to get out of that before. We took out our alignment rack and tire equipment to get 2 more lifts because they were more profitable.
Yep.
So now we're back in the alignment and tire business. And the techs are able to communicate through auto vitals, workflow, or calls. Um, and the other question is, how about shuttling the cars back and forth? We
Big
thought that was
question.
good. We thought that
Big
was going to be
question.
a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what? It's not. I never hear any complaints. And I asked my manager, how come nobody's complaining? There's not a problem. He goes, Tom, because we have a culture of teamwork here now. Everybody pitches in. If somebody's not busy, we need a car to go over to Wolf, they'll take it over, or a tech will bring a car back. Everybody helps out, and we've increased our employee count, so we've got plenty of people to help out, and they do, and nobody complains. It's fantastic.
No complaints.
Yeah, so it's gotten
Ah,
better, Carmen, than we thought. And then Well, let me throw in the added bonus because you asked about it before about the offices.
Yeah.
And that's been a really sweet deal because now we were able to lease out the half of the front lower side. We kept half of the offices for ourselves because I never had an office. I need one. The manager never had an office, so we never had a conference room.
Yeah.
All these years, I've been meeting people outside at a bench. So now we got offices. The other side we leased out to an equipment testing company, and then we have a big upstairs of about 1,800 square feet. We just leased that out to a tutoring company, and it's perfect. And what this has done is that the revenue we get from the office rentals helps offset our mortgage. So about it offsets about 50% to 60% of our mortgage expense, our property taxes, insurance, and utilities, etc. So I mean that's been a fantastic bonus.
You fell into a strawberry shortcake there with whipped
Y-
cream on it.
We did, and you know what it just took some vision during challenging times when everybody was panicking. And I've been through recessions before. I said, you know what, this is going to straighten out. This is a good buying opportunity, and I see potential here in this building. If if we just act intelligently. In fact, we even put 3 inches of insulation on the walls so that the tenants don't have to hear all our power tools.
Wow, how
You know,
smart is
just like they
that?
have, it's the same stuff that they use in movie theaters.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
a question about, Mike, Bennett, a great guy, I love him, and he challenged you as a devil's advocate,
Yes.
and did you say, "Yeah, he may be right about that," or did you use them challenges to, disprove him wrong?
I didn't want to disprove him wrong. I just wanted to make it work. So I
Yeah,
said,
okay.
okay, there's a solution to every problem.
Yeah,
What's the solution? Let's figure it out.
yeah.
And I talked to some other, great shop owners, and I just spent a lot of time with my COO, my manager Sal, working on this. You know, what can we do to overcome this situation? And we figured it out. And another big thing I didn't mention, Carm, is that we used this satellite as a hiring uh, mechanism. Because when I first interviewed Sal last February, we only had the Red Hawk location, but I was in the middle of purchasing this, and I took him over and I showed it to him, and I showed him my vision, and he loved it. He goes, "Okay, Tom, I'm in." And then he was able to bring a bunch of people he knew that he had worked with, and we showed them, and they go, "Wow, we love this concept." So he was able to bring 4 A players, 2 master technicians, in a period of time when you can't get techs, another B tech, and then a great service advisor that we made the assistant manager, and some others. So the satellite helped us recruit other A players. And
I
as a
love it,
result,
and I go back to this thing about Mike. I'm not being negative about Mike, but you used your coach in the right way.
yeah,
You said to Mike, "Hey, tell me I'm nuts, I'm crazy," and he did, and you felt so he wasn't there, he didn't see the place, he didn't realize. I mean, he knew you were landlocked. He says he knew that you had 6 bays in 2,000 square feet doing, 7 figures.
yeah,
But you realized that your revenue was probably never gonna grow anymore. You weren't gonna make any more money where you were, and so you had to make some kind of move.
right.
It sounds like the best move you could have ever made.
We just had to think outside the box. Now
Yeah,
I'm in the mastermind Sony group and the CEO
yeah,
group, and
yeah,
everybody else has got 2, 3, 4 shops, and they're growing. And I said, I got to grow, and I wanted to grow anyway. So I just had to think outside the box, and this is what we got with creative thinking. Is putting together a puzzle, looking out, say, what do I want? What's the end result? And then working backwards. How do we get there?
sure, sure.
And we did. And you know what the net result was of all this, Carm? And then we only used Wolf about half of the year, and we're not at 100% capacity here yet. Our sales last year with getting that new team were up 63% last year.
Ooh, I got goosebumps for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Well, look at while you can continue to talk a little bit about it, but what I'd love to do is get ready to show the video that we've prepared
Sure.
of both places, so everyone can see the compactness of Red Hawk and now what Wolf looks like and everything that Tom explained. Um, this week's podcast, great stuff, by the way. Um, we did the Woman in Auto Care's Woman of the Year honors. We also talked to Joe Register about secure vehicle interface. A great episode, why we are better than the car dealerships. And of course, from the Aftermarket Radio Network, Matt Fonslow, in a discussion with Chris Cloutier. So I think we're ready. I think we're ready to see this virtual tour of your place, and we'd love you to narrate this. And I think our listener, based on what he heard from you, will see what your challenges were all about. So let's run it.
Yeah, this is our facility. It's usually packed full of cars, but we did it on a weekend, and you could see that we have a very small location, just 2,200 square feet, including the office. This is the team that we had about a year and a half ago. We have released some of these folks to the marketplace and got a whole new team. This is our front entrance.
Wait till
We
you
try.
see how small the customer room is here. I love, by the way, I mean, what you have in your place is gorgeous. It's clean, it's neat, it's, I mean,
Thank you.
from the graphics on the wall to the done carpet.
Yeah, my wife helped me a lot here, and everybody did. But we have to be efficient. So now we've got three service advisors up front. The receptionist and the manager put up a temporary desk in the front there.
Hey, let's stop the video for a minute and let me ask you. The customers don't have a clue if their cars are going over to Wolf, right? They just don't. They drop off and they pick up at Red Hawk, right?
Well, we're starting to tell people about it, and they're really excited about it. I want to send the video out to all
Oh, cool.
6,800 of our customers to announce it. They like it. They want to drop their car off. No, no.
All right, good.
Sorry, we
All
can't
right.
do that. Let's do
All
everything
right.
out of here.
I love the graphics. I love the honors that you've received. You'll see more pictures of ASE stuff. I mean, you really tell the people that you're involved in the community.
We do, and you know what? We got great reviews as a result. We're up to
Sure.
636 reviews at 4.8 stars.
Wow. Good for you.
So yeah, thanks. I used to be the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce, so I got that resolution from the assembly, the state assembly, and our technicians are certified ASC techs, a couple masters. We turned that coffee bar into another kiosk for a service advisor. Fortunately, there's a 7-Eleven next door. People can go over there for refreshments.
Got it. Now look at how tight this place is.
Yeah, those are two lifts next to each other. We have to be very careful. And in the back, you see that minivan. That's where we used to have the tire equipment right there. And then to the right of that was the alignment rack.
Remember, there's 6 bays and an office in a total of 2,000 square feet.
Yep. We use Protractor for our POS system, as well as Auto Vitals for DVIs and CRM.
Hey, Bill Connor's on with us. Hey, Bill.
We've got all the diagnostic tools, scan tools, everything we need.
These are great pics to show the
Yes.
density that you have.
We also are a star smog station.
Got it? Necessary in California.
Yeah, absolutely. And we use workflow systems. We are fortunate that we have a basement where we can store bulk oil and bulk waste oil and records. So we keep that stuff downstairs.
Does this look to me like stop the video? Does this look like it used to be an oil change laneway?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. In fact,
Okay.
if you look at the top, you'll see some
Yeah,
steel plates.
I
They used to
see.
be open pits,
All right. Yeah.
and we've evolved a lot over the years.
Yeah.
we want to get away from being a quick lube. And then we
Cool.
also retail propane, and we get a lot of customers who come in just for the propane,
Sure.
and they could see how busy we are, and we talk up our service.
All
Okay,
right,
here we are.
here's the
Here's
new
Wolf.
place.
Yeah, it's looks like an office building, doesn't it?
It sure does.
It is. Our manager Sal on the right, our COO, and the service advisor Gio on the left. So you just come into a little suite here. Up front, we have offices. Now on the right hand side, it's similar. We
Okay.
we put a wall up between the two, so I could lease out the other side and keep these for ourselves. Our manager has this office on the left, and mine is down on the left corner.
Mhm.
Then we have a conference room on the right, which we've never had before. Okay, then we go into the back industrial area that was a call center, and we've converted it to a repair shop. See how tall the ceilings are? They're over 20 feet.
Unbelievable.
When I first walked in there, it was a lowered 8-foot ceiling.
Mhm.
I go, wow, this is interesting, and full of cubicles. So
And
now
so
we're
the glass walls were on the back side where the garage doors are?
yes, and you couldn't see garage door. All I saw was glass because there were people working back in. You see that garage door there?
Yeah, yeah.
That was all glass over it. And then there's one to the left of it. It was all glass. But I peeked up, in the ceiling tile, and I could see roll up doors. I go, wow, this is perfect.
Tom, it was meant to be.
I think so. Absolutely. So we have three 10-foot, 10,000-pound lifts on the left side, and on the right we have the heavy duty ones, two 12s and the 14,000-pound alignment rack right in the middle. And
Sure.
then there's a beam coming down. We painted it yellow so nobody would hit it and the building would collapse.
Got it. Wouldn't want that.
No.
I mean, and you're back in the tire business. Look at the equipment.
Yeah, it's great. We got all new stuff.
So if you sell tires to someone while the car's at Red Hawk, you're going to have to shuttle it over to get the tires put on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And again, stop the video for a moment. Explain to us your logistics on how this is working. Did you hire someone to be a shuttle driver?
I thought we were going to have to hire two people. We have a GS, but if we need an alignment, one of the C techs who does alignments and oil changes, he generally brings it back and forth.
Okay.
So everybody's pitching in.
Got it.
It isn't just one GS. It's teamwork, and it all worked out better than I expected. It
Way
was a
better.
pleasant shock. Yeah,
Yeah, what an opportunity to be growing your business at 63%,
yeah,
having a production facility where the technicians are all working together.
yes.
The service people, know you're just taking in work and they're deciding. Are they deciding if the vehicle goes to the satellite?
Well, of course, the managers dispatch the work, and it depends. If it's a heavy line, needs a diagnosis, we'll send it over to our master tech over there. We have another master tech at Red Hawk that can diagnose stuff too. But depending on how much work they have, who's available, we allocate it
Sure.
throughout the day.
Tom, we had a question come in from my good friend Scott Felser. What is the distance between the two shops?
Oh, good question. A half a mile.
A half a mile.
Yeah. So we go down the main street. We're there in 5 minutes, and then we can come back around the back way and come back without all that traffic. It's very convenient. Yeah.
Uh,
And I
uh,
looked all around town, and here we are in our backyard. We found something that could work.
Yeah, actually, if you go down the perfect list,
Uh,
it
yeah,
almost checks all the boxes.
it does, Carm. We really had some
Uh,
assistance from the other side.
well, I am so happy to have seen the location. Thank you for that video. Thank you for explaining, the whole rationale behind your decision, and that it is paying off in spades for you.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Carm.
Wow. Hey, next week's Aftermarket Weekly, good friend Kareem Morsley is going to be here, and we've done a lot of great stuff together. I can't wait to see his place. So, Tom Grady, thank you so much from Red Hawk Auto Service, Temecula, California, to see your satellite, to see all the great success that you're having, and thanks for your support of the podcast.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, man.